Today's message is about fire. It's about transformation. It's about your body. These are things that we're not taught growing up, that must be taught moving forward. Because being human, being alive, it's not about being sedentary and calm all the time. Having a regulated nervous system isn't about being peaceful 100% of the time. Especially in a world that is as miserable as our world is with the way things are. Here in America, people are just working all the time until they physically, emotionally, or mentally cannot. So many people don't want to be here anymore. So many people feel dead inside. So many people are depressed. So many people have big anxiety. So many people are just in their heads, in their minds all day long. And I know this because I was there. I know this because I, at one point, was dead inside. But I won't be again in this life. Because I remembered who I am. We're not just human. We're not just a physical body. This isn't just a body that deteriorates and decays and becomes worse and worse throughout your life. But so many people live with that fear that that's what it is. This is just some meat suit. And they either think they have bad genetics or just a faulty body or whatever. And I used to be there. I used to live in that place when I had lost my faith, when I didn't know what to believe in, and I was just looking at science and politics and the way of the world and feeling completely disillusioned by the mainstream narratives of what it means to be here and what it means to be human and what we should be focused on and what's important and all these things. And it's all just, none of it teaches you how to be a happy human. So much of it is just teaching you how to be a safe, careful human, to make sure that you are always insured and protected, and so you can survive long enough to die eventually. And it keeps so much of us in these cages of what we think life is. And that's why those of us who start to awaken, we start to see maybe the narratives that drive the mainstream, maybe the narratives that we grew up learning, maybe the stories that we grew up learning aren't really for our best interest. And it's not necessarily that they are there to be directly manipulative and deceptive. It's that the people who have a sense of duty and responsibility for many, many years are coming from fear-based, survival-based, lack-based mindsets to try and keep the peace, to try and keep some sense of order, because chaos scares them. Revolution scares them. Change scares them, because we haven't known how to navigate it in a way that is grounded and safe. But we have to embrace revolution. We have to embrace evolution. We have to embrace the transformation that humanity requires at this time. That's why there is a mass awakening happening. That is why so many people are focused on their healing consciously. That is why people are understanding that we are not just human. We are energetic beings made of divine intelligence. We are consciousness in motion. We are the evolution of consciousness that's happening. Not just, 'cause consciousness is not just something that exists in the mind. Consciousness is reality. And the more that we start to recognize that our bodies are consciousness, we are a collective consciousness, a collective energy, a collective nervous system. Humanity is. We can learn how to work with our minds and our bodies in a way that helps us feel good in life. But that means we have to create safety within ourselves. But safety isn't about walls and protection. Safety is about understanding what reality is, what you are made of, and who you truly are. That's what real safety is about. That's the only way to create heaven on earth. Heaven in the body. The kingdom of heaven is within. And that means we have to reclaim our right to aliveness, because we are not just physical, mechanical bodies. Yes, we are flesh and bone, because that's the dream we're in right now. That's the collective dream that we are living right now, that we are flesh and bone material. But the truth is, our material is made of energy, and there are different levels of energy, different energy bodies. So we have chemical emotions, and we have energetic emotions, and we have a mental body, and we have a spiritual body. And all of these bodies, when they are aligned with the truth of who we are eternally, become coherent. And your body starts to come alive. Now you can go and, if you want to, look at my page, at my pinned post, and you can see where my body was, almost 400 pounds, and you can see externally how I look. But inside was even worse than the outside appearance. In fact, the outside appearance was damn good compared to the inside reality. My inner reality, when I had lost anything to believe in bigger than myself or the world. When I had lost belief in myself. When I carried immense shame. I woke up every day with dread. My habits, my behaviors became a reflection of how I felt inside, and they fed off of each other. And it was all based on my perception. I didn't know how to love myself. I didn't know how to even want to take care of myself in certain ways, because life seemed so bleak. My existence seemed so bleak. I had no passion, no direct purpose that made any sense, no real meaning besides the people in my life. And so the people in my life became my priority, right? Like, if I can just be loving, if I can make sure that they're happy, if I can do well by their standards, then maybe I'll have served a purpose and my life will matter in some way. But all I did was become miserable, because, of course, I can't make other people happy. And the other people in my life are trying to do the same thing or their own thing, and they're not looking to me to make them happy either. And so at a certain point, I just felt like a complete burden. I could barely move. I could barely walk. The pain inside me. I would be bedridden with back spasms for weeks at a time. I was trapped in a mind that entirely blamed me for this. And that's why I carried such shame and guilt and just didn't like myself. Didn't like who I had become. Didn't understand how I had become that way. And I was completely disconnected from my source. at least in my felt experience of my body and in my perception. And so I felt dead inside. My life force was completely cut out. It was just gone. All the areas that generate life force were either in immense pain or completely numbed all the time. These are the two fluctuations. There wasn't pleasure, there wasn't joy, there wasn't goodness. There was just, I was out of those places. I did not want to feel them. My pelvic region, my sacral, my groin, my hips, my low back, everything, my lower abdomen, everything, that whole area, root, sacral, solar plexus, completely out of balance, completely distorted. And I didn't know how to feel alive anymore. I didn't know what it was. And when I finally got frustrated enough, and I decided I didn't want to be right anymore, because the way that I see things, the way that I was perceiving life and myself was clearly not good. Clearly not. And so I humbled myself. And I didn't ask someone like a therapist for help. I didn't ask for like a specific, I mean, I've tried therapy, but I just asked out loud to whatever's listening for help. I just want to know the truth. I just want to see clearly, because none of this makes any fucking sense to me anymore. And that's when God, Source, the All, Spirit, the divine love that is everything, that I am one with, that I am made of, brought me the perspectives I needed to remember that I am connected to everything, that I am consciousness, that I am energy, that I am divine love in motion, which are things that I knew when I was younger. I didn't know I was consciousness and energy, but I knew that I was love. And so many people don't think that they are. They think that there's just something wrong with them. They think that they're flawed. They don't know how to love themselves. And at that time, I still didn't know how to love myself. I knew how to love other things, other people, but I didn't know how to love myself. But when I realized I was connected to that love, that is everything, I knew in that moment, at that time, that I am designed to love myself. I am made to love myself. And so I made the choice before I could feel the feeling. Before I could feel the love for myself, I chose to start believing that I could. And it was just that optimism, that belief, that spurred the last almost 4 years of healing and transformation, where I have reclaimed so much of my body and my movement and my aliveness and this fire in me that I had when I was younger, that I had lost. And I won't lose it again. And I will make sure that I help other people for the rest of my life to remember theirs. Because it's too important. And our way of life is created by people who are completely fucking disconnected from their truth. And that's why we live in such a society that is so anxious and depressed. Because we are disconnected from our truth. And we're believing in systems and certain religions, or at least certain parts of religions, that cage us, that keep us sheltered and small. But each of us is a divine spark of the all. We are one with God. We are one with each other. And it's our duty, our responsibility, to remind each other of who we really are. Those of us who are remembering, those of us who are awakening, those of us who are not afraid to question what we have been taught, not afraid to question our old beliefs. And it doesn't mean we throw away everything. It means we look at everything and we start seeing, does this align with my heart? Does this align with my truth? Does this align with love? And if it doesn't, then it's not true. And there are a lot of people who have just memorized beliefs and rules and laws, and they think that's the truth because that's the way it is. It's the way it was. Created by people who were just trying to keep order to try and keep people protected, but they didn't know that they were cutting us off from the whole point of life, which is to live. And instead now our world is filled with sick people and working people, and that's it. That's the majority of people, is we are sick and we are working. Wow, what a great fucking life that is. And it's not that there's anything wrong with being someone who works. There's nothing wrong with work itself, but it should come from love. It should come from, I want to serve. I want to give this. I want to contribute this. It shouldn't be for survival. We have enough. All the people here who are taking care of the basic needs of everything, we have enough people to do that. Not everyone is here to do some little niche or whatever. Some people are just here because they want to be here and they want to serve, and they're doing it in a way that provides sustenance, supplies shelter, protection, comfort, and all these things, caretaking. All of this is wonderful. All of this is beautiful. But even those people are meant to live. We are not just here to be laborers. Life isn't about labor. It's about love. It's about being. It's about living. It's about being free to choose. And so many of us are here doing deep, deep, deep healing work. And our bodies are carrying so much. And people are sick and they're purging and they are undoing generational traumas through their existence. And we don't support those people or value those people enough. We're not taking good enough care of our elderly. We've made everything has become so divisive, so divided that people don't even know how to just sit and be with someone anymore. Because there's all these disagreements and all these arguments about petty fucking shit, which most of politics at this point is petty fucking shit. Because they're not having the real discussions that need to be had. They're not talking about life and reality as it is. They're playing some other game. And it's not helping. And that's why everyone's fucking miserable about it. And people are like, well, this is the only way we can make change. It's not. It's not. Change starts with us. Our willingness to humble ourselves, because we've been fed so many different perspectives and so much information. We need to humble ourselves and ask for divine guidance, love, divine love, to show us the truth, to stop trying to do it all on our own, to stop trying to mentally figure out life. Life is felt. Life is in the body. Love is in the body. God is in the body. Truth is in the body, not in your fucking head. And so many people only try to perceive life from here. They don't know how to use their system, because this is divine intelligence. And when you are rooted, when you are grounded, when you feel safe and secure inside yourself, this body is a tool, an instrument for discernment. It tells you what's true. But that only happens when we get grounded and rooted and humble ourselves. All of us deserve to feel alive. And alive isn't just about doing big adrenaline things. It's about knowing who you are and feeling that sense of aliveness and truth and power inside your body. It's time for us to reclaim who we really are. It's time for us to remember. It's time for us to make truth, real truth, not just what we think is the truth, but real truth felt in the body, that needs to become the foundation of our world again. I love you all.